Guys, welcome back to the channel Pause Window Cleaning, and today we have a very exciting video talking to you about window cleaning tools. So what I'm going to do is break these tools into three different categories. Okay, we're going to talk about traditional tools, mops, squeegees, rags, all those different tools, so that essentially if you want to start tomorrow doing window cleaning, you can, right, with these tools. Then the second one's going to be add-on services, so you can offer more to your clients. And then the third one is going to be water fed. That's going to make your life so much easier. I use it all the time, and people love the results. So these are the three categories, and so stick with me and we'll learn more about each category. Before we begin, I just wanted to say that I am an affiliate with Window Cleaning Resource, and so all the products that we will be discussing today, I'll put links to them in the description down below. You click the link, purchase any of those products. My wife and I will receive a little commission. We'll be very grateful for that. Also, too, if you have any questions about a specific product or want to know more about a product, just reach out to me. I'll do my best to help you out. And most importantly, my wife and I want to thank so much those that actually purchase products through us. It helps us out, helps the channel out. And so we just want to say we're very grateful for the support. So now let's get into the video, and hopefully this video will help you to become a better window cleaner. And so let's just get right into it. Now I'm going to screen record my computer so that ultimately you can see what I'm looking at, what I'm doing, and so then from there, yeah, we can look at all the products together. Okay, so here we have windowcleaner.com/AP, so that's my code. If you want to do a window cleaner and try to support me, and want to support me, you just click that. All right, so then from there, what we want to do, so right now I'm going to focus on the beginner tools. Okay, so the first beginner tool I have here is recycled surgical towels. Okay, so now with these surgical towels, there's different options, but in the case of this, I would say this is a great overall towel for everyone. If you want to get this jumbo with a 12-pack, that's the lowest we can get, is $27. And what I'm going to do too is I'm just going to add everything into the cart, and then from there we can see the total together. Okay, so let's say we're going to add this one to the cart. So this is a good towel for detailing, you know, just overall maybe cleaning screens and all that. So it's or drying them off, I should say. It's a really good towel for overall use. All right, so the next one, let me just move the mic a little bit closer here. Okay, we have this right here. So the best one in this case is the Ettore Reach extension pole. So I would say go 12 sections and then 12 foot. So this will be great for maybe you want to do some pole work or anything like that. This is a great tool to have, be able to put it into the top there. It's a great tool. Trust me, you're going to really appreciate when you have this. I'm trying to get the cheapest but the best. So this is about $60. 2 sections, 12 foot. I mean, you can go higher. 3 sections, go 15, 18. But I mean, you know, the price just keeps going up. At this point, it's, yeah, really expensive, you know, when we are comparing to the $60 one. Okay, so we're going to add this one to the cart. Okay, now we're going to move on to this one, IPC. Okay, now this one's a great tool to have, because like let's say you want to have you're doing squeegee and mop and all this other stuff, which we'll talk about later, which ones you should get. This is a great tool because essentially this is a little bit more abrasive, right? So it's going to be a little bit more aggressive for the windows. It's not going to scratch the window, but essentially what it does is that you can use your hand and you can go over all the window, make it very simple. Yeah, I mean, you can change your color here. This is good for maybe first-time cleans, right? Let's say they have a little bit of extra stuff on it. So we want to add that to the cart. Now, with this, it doesn't come with anything. So I would say you probably want to have this right here. This will be a great complement, and it's really cheap, like $2, so it's not that bad. I mean, we're trying to be on a budget, so I would say probably 3 should be good to start. I mean, you can use this for one pad, a couple of jobs. It's not like steel wool where that rusts after, you know, some time, and you know, like maybe half a job or a full job, depending on how much you use it when it touches water. But this one, you're doing really well. You just go and you use it, and yeah, you can use it for a few jobs. So let's say you want to add 3 of those. Okay, so now the next one is kind of what I was talking about. Oh, misspelled that. This is really good, really good. What I like about it a lot is that steel wool, man, that thing is awesome. Let's say there's a little bit of like, let's say oil or something like from like a pan or something that goes into the window. Like if you're cleaning a kitchen, you can go take things off really easily. But the only downside is, again, if it gets touched with water, then from there it rusts really easily. So I like this because they come with a 16 piece bag, which is awesome for a single for $6.82. I would say you should just buy a 1-pack. I think 12 is kind of overkill just because we're trying to keep on a budget. I think 6 is great. And then, hey, if you want to buy some more, you can get a 12-pack if you want. That's fine too. One thing with window cleaning resource is that there's free shipping. I want to just emphasize that a little bit on orders over $49. So just be prepared. Let's say you just want to buy one of these bags, is $6.82, and you're gonna have to pay for shipping. So just plan accordingly so that if you want to buy some stuff, maybe try to get around the $50 mark so that you don't have to pay for any shipping. So we're just gonna get one. All right, so that's that. Let's go to the next one. All right, so great tool. This one, if you want to, like I said, you want to have something specific you want to touch up, it's good. You could actually take this even to remove some paint sometimes, so you don't have to always use a razor. So it's really effective in that way. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Let's see. Yes, this one right here. Great. So now we're going over about where we're just talking about paint. This is a really good scraper. I would say always get the smallest one. I think 4-inch is good enough. I mean, 6 is $2 more, but it's just that I prefer 4-inch just because it's a little bit easier to maintain the balance of the scrape, so that helps out a lot. I mean, if you feel more comfortable with 6-inch, it doesn't really matter. It's preference. I know a lot of people that like 6 inches, so good for them. It works for them. For me, I don't know. I just prefer the 4-inch, and it's actually even cheaper if you think about it. Like, what, $2 cheaper? But the point is that I like to have consistent control on every time you try to use a razor. One thing, if I just want to clarify this, is that if you do use a razor, please have some practice ahead of time. The key is to water, scrape, okay? So you don't want to scrape twice. You want to first focus on having water on the window, scrape, water, scrape. I know it's a little tedious, but at the same time, you don't get any scratches on the window. It's been working for me. So again, I prefer 4, but if you want 6, it's not a problem. But in this case, we're just going to have 4, okay? All right, great. So now we're going to be going into this. Okay, so this super bucket. All right, so this, like I said, it's everyone's preference. The thing is that it gets like to $25-30 for a bucket. It's a bucket, you don't need to spend a lot of money on it. It's $16 almost. It's great. It has 6 reviews, 5 stars. I mean, you can't beat that, right? So this is good for, like, let's say you want to do like storefronts, right? You want to take water with you with some soap, and then from there you dunk it, and then you can be able to mop the window and all that different things, and then squeegee afterwards. Every window cleaner needs to have a bucket, so this is a great one to get. It's only $16, so I would definitely get that. Let me see. And then the next one, yep, is this one. Ettore Compact Super Bucket Lid. This is great for, like, let's say you're going to do a storefront, kind of what I was alluding to earlier, and you want to put some water inside. It probably will leak just a little bit, just because I was looking at a review that it could leak a little bit, but I mean, it's just water, so it's not anything to be worried about. So just be careful. You don't want to fill it up all the way, and then on the car ride, it's like splashing all over the place. So if we just have a nice balance to it, we have the bucket, and with the lid, from there at least you can have some water on the go, right? So you can go to a storefront without having to rely on water. Okay, so this is a good one to have. So I'll add that one too. All right, so now we kind of have the foundation, right? But to be a window cleaner, you need to have a squeegee and a belt and all that different things, right? So now let's focus on the belt. So first thing first, let's get the belt. Right here. I personally use this one. It's just a simple belt. It's very simple, easy to use. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, depending on obviously the size that you are. Not a problem at all. So this one is what I use. It's only $24, and then it's good to go. Now, one thing, I actually didn't write this on my note, but this right here is phenomenal. Phenomenal, because you're able to put all that you can. You can put your towels, you can put even your soap and all those different things, so that can be part of the belt. I personally use this. This is awesome because, you know, sometimes when you go inside a house, you know, you're bringing your towels in and you don't want to have all your towels with you. Maybe you just need a few of them. This is a perfect pouch for that. So I'm going to put this in there. I strongly suggest getting this. It's an awesome tool. It also has little pockets too, and you can put, you know, maybe some steel wool and all that in there. So you can actually separate it right here from your, you know, maybe you have some wet towels, you'll separate it. So that will be pretty cool. Okay. All right. So then from there we have the, let's see, right here. This is an awesome tool right here, the Ultimate Squeegee Combo. Which you probably, so pretty much it's a complete combo, and I would strongly suggest, I mean, if you even want it with the flipper, man, that will be awesome. I would say that this is a great add-on to this, because essentially this washer strip, you can clean the window. Like, let's say you dunk in soap and water, then you go on the window, you can flip it and you can squeegee. It's really convenient, it's really awesome. But we're going to try to focus on a budget. But if you could, I would say strongly get the flick pad and all that. It'll make your life so much easier. But in this case, I would say just get the 14-inch. You know what? Let's just say you want to get this. I have it myself. It works phenomenal, and it makes your life so much easier, because imagine you're doing pole work and you have to use the mop, and then you pull it down and then switch it off for like the squeegee and then pull it back up. This one's already there, so you just go and, you know, flip and all that, and it's awesome. So I would say get the 14-inch with the flick pad, and you'll be good to go. Now, keeping this in mind, because we're going to focus on being on a budget, we're going to add this. Now, what we could do is, because it's the same, right? It's just pretty much the same. We're going to get the brass. Here we go. So pretty much you can use this brass channel for the flip pad that we're just talking about right now. And instead, you can just buy it by itself, because we already have the 14. You can actually have the 18. And see, instead of having to buy another one that's, you know, $50 or whatever, you can just get just the channel itself, and it'll fit right in, and you don't have to worry about buying another squeegee handle. So I would suggest getting this. So then at least you have 2 in 1, right? So you can save some money on that. All right, perfect. So now we're going to be talking about French windows, all right? Let's see, I think I misspelled that. This one right here. So this is actually a really good one for French windows. The handle is amazing. It's really simple. Obviously, we're looking at the 6-inch, so it's not going to be that long. That looks like probably a 14-inch. But the 6-inch will be very good for French windows, because obviously you can't put a 14-inch squeegee on, so you use this to get into the little French windows, and it will be amazing for great results. Okay, so you definitely need that. And to complement that, right, we're going to have to get this. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna go here, Yeah, I know it's going to be a little bit expensive, right? $45 for a 6-inch, but it is going to help you out a lot because I love this. The way it is that you just literally rip off the mop and you can put another one on. And so this is a really good one, the Maykker Python sleeve. This is good for like every window pretty much. The one you need to be careful of, we'll talk about it later, is the Hedgehog, because that one, if they have tinted windows, it will scratch. So this one's a really good one for overall for every single window. So we'll just put this one in here. So that's a 6-inch. And then I'll explain later what I mean. But right now, this is a good mop for a 6-inch. And yeah, so now you have the squeegee, the mop for the French windows, right? So now we're gonna go to the mop for the big guy, right? The mop for the normal non-French windows. Let's see. Well, I guess we were already there. I was gonna try to go here, but okay, if we're already here, let me just actually explain that real quick. So we're gonna be here, right? It's the same bar, right? So we're gonna do the 14-inch. You don't need 18-inch for a sleeve. That's overkill, but you want at least a 14. All right, so then you have that there, and then from there you'll just add this to the cart. Okay, so then now you have the mop for the original size, right? The 14-inch, and then you have one for the French windows, which is going to help you out tremendously. Okay, so now what I was going to show you right now, because I kind of went a little bit backwards, but we're going to do this. Okay. So this is what I was kind of saying, is that, see, now you have different sizes here. So now, remember I told you can rip off the mop. So essentially here, now this is the Hedgehog. Now this is the one that I always use, and this has been really great. Essentially, this Hedgehog sleeve is going to be really aggressive towards the windows. Doesn't scratch, but it'll be very aggressive. And like I said, if it has tinted windows, then you don't want to use it, but this is phenomenal. Okay, so because we have the 14-inch, and the 6-inch, we can use this for the French windows and the regular ones, but now you don't have to buy a complete squeegee bar and all that. You can just buy the 6-inch, so we'll just buy that, right, so you can have the soft mop, and now you have the more aggressive one. Then we can go to the 14-inch, and then we can add that there. Okay, so now we have two for both, and then it will work out very, very well for you. Okay, so let's go to here. We're gonna go to these. So this is gonna help you with track cleaning. It's very cheap. $6 is not that much. I would say just buy one. You don't have to buy two. I have bought a few of them, and I just normally just keep one. If you really want to buy two, go for it. But I think one is just good enough. Okay. So now we have this one next. There we go. Now this is going to be an excellent tool for those that want to be able to open up screens from the outside. You don't have to go inside the house, right? If it's a first story, let's say the homeowner's not home, you can go just open up the screens from the outside. It helps out a lot, and yeah, very simple to use, and yeah, it has really good reviews on it too. So all right, we'll add that there. Now we have this. A very cheap spray bottle, which is really cool. It's only $2 and or $1.50. And so what you can have is the, oh, sorry, I forgot to add the trigger combo. So it's $4.34. So it's a very simple one, very basic. I would say one always breaks all the time. So I would say maybe buy 2 or 3 of them. But in the case, I would say just keep it with 2. So then from there, you can put your solution, your water, and all that, and you'll be good to go. So we'll just add 2 for that. Okay. And then now the ingredient. This one, I mean, I'll just put it here just because. Dawn dish detergent. Okay, so this is very simple. This is awesome for all window cleaners, right? They use Dawn all the time. You just have a little squirt in that little spray bottle. If you have like the bucket, You can spray it a couple times in there or squirt it a couple times, and then from there you're good to go. So this is a really good product to have. You can also go to Costco, you can also go to Home Depot and all that to buy this. You get a more bigger portion, but let's say you just want to get everything all at once. This is a great offer. Or great bundle to have all at once, but like again, you can always go to Costco, but we'll just add that in there. Okay, and we're gonna get the final one. Okay, Diamond's Magic Stain Remover. So now, why am I talking about the Diamond's Magic Stain Remover? So now this is great to remove hard water. Now you have to be very careful because I'm from Southern California, Pasadena, California. And there's a lot of hard water here to the point where this does not do anything at all. So I would always say, take it with a grain of salt. Just go to the homeowner, and if they ask for hard water removal, just let them know, hey, can I do a spot test? Because I like to do that with my customers. And hey, I like to do a spot test because I don't want to charge them to do hard water removal. And then afterwards, then guess what? It doesn't work, and then it's not fair to them. So I normally just get this. I've used this quite a bit. It works very, very well. Like I said, it's always good to do a spot test, and then we're good to go from there. And then if it works, great. And then you show them results, and then say, hey, I did this little corner. It looks good. What do you think? Oh, wow, it did amazing. Let's do it. So yeah, so then there you go. All right. So I would say, let's see, what's the price difference? So it would be like, what, 37, something like that. I would say just stick with the 20. Yeah, just stick with the 20 because, I mean, how often do you use it? I don't do it every week, so hard water removal. So I think by the time that you get rid of this bottle, like you use it all, I think at that time you probably could buy another 20 ounce. So I don't think in your case 40, but I do have a 40. But anyways, okay. So we're going to add this here. So now let's get to the conclusion of all our products for the beginner. Okay, so we have 25 items, right? We have the stain remover, the Diamond Magic. We have the Dawn dish soap. We have the trigger spray. Of course, you can always buy this, like I said, at like a Home Depot or something like that. The screen, the track, the Hedgehog sleeves for the 14 and 6. Then we have the 14. So this sleeve here will be able to be used with this. And this 6-inch will be able to use with this. So that works out really great. This is really good for, again, for the French windows. And then this will be good to be able to add this onto here. You can take this bar off. You won't be able to use the flip pad, unfortunately, because it's meant for the 14-inch. But, I mean, I prefer doing 14-inch with the flip pad. I think 18, I've had some trouble with it in the past. Maybe I've just been doing it wrong, but yeah, I like the 14 better. Then this is good with the tool belt, and there's one thing. So there's one thing I didn't add here. Let me see really quick. So we go here. Okay, here we go. All right, this is gonna save you a lot, and this is what I use. I would say, yeah, this is maybe a little bit more on the pricier end, but this right here, this Drywalker Flex is awesome to hold your squeegees and everything like that. So I would say definitely this is something that I use. I mean, it has 5 stars, 36 reviews. You'll be able to put your mop in here in this big one, and then you put your both squeegees in the back. So, or you can use one and then use the channel and switch it. But at least you can have that option to have 2, and then if you wanted to add more, you can add another 2. So that's really great. So let me go back to the cart. So we have all these different things. Okay, we now have the belt and everything complete. Now we have the bucket with the lid. Now we have the scraper. We have the steel wool, the walnut pad. We have the Techno pad with the handle. We have the reach, and it comes down to $607. Yes, that sounds like a lot, but I'll tell you this, with all the products that I've been saying right now, this is going to be a game changer. This is something that works. I know that it seems like a lot, but at the end of the day, you're good to go to start window cleaning tomorrow. So one little thing too that I want to add too that's not onto this list, that's not on the website, is Costco has the Little Giant. I love the Little Giant. I think it's a phenomenal tool. That thing could be an A ladder or it can be an extension ladder, and I pretty much just use that all the time. And I just checked before the video. It's $190, and I think that's a great deal because not everyone has a truck. Maybe you have an SUV or whatnot, but it fits very well in pretty much all cars except for maybe a compact car. But you know, you can do what you can. Also, three other tools from Home Depot. I have a video about it, more in detail about it. 3 essential tools. But you have the spray bottle, right? You also have a pry bar set to open up the screens if you don't want to use this Washer's Paradise screen clean, and also a 6-inch 2-in-1 windows cleaner squeegee and scrubber combo. And so that's pretty cool. So instead of having to do, use this 6-inch and having to use this mop, this one just pretty much flips. So again, I have a video all about those products. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. Okay, so I'm just making the video a little bit shorter because, it's going to be a long time for me to delete the whole cart. So let's move on to now the add-on services, okay? So this is like an add-on, but also to make things a little bit easier too. This is towels. I mean, it's kind of expensive for a single one, $7, so that's why I didn't put it in the first list. But this towel, man, when you start detailing, it is phenomenal. You go detail everything, it works amazingly. I can do maybe 1 or 2 of these, and the house. Well, I have a large one, but the minis, maybe a couple of them, you'll be able to do a whole house, so you don't have to worry about carrying a lot of towels. So that's why I didn't really want to put this into the list, but for the first one. But for the second one, this is that. I think a 10-pack is good. So $62. That's a good price. Okay, so the next one is something that is really good, is this one. So now you can traditionally clean a screen with just your mop and kind of go over it on both sides and then get a towel and kind of go over detail and all that different things. It takes a long time. It's very tedious. This screen cleaner, I can do like a bunch of screens in a very short period of time. Be connected to the hose to the spigot to here, the hose here from the spigot. And you go and you just start shooting out water. You just start going back and forth. I have a couple videos of me demonstrating that so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But man, people see this all the time. They're like, man, this is an awesome machine and what's in it? And I get asked questions all about it. And also too, it's a little great advertisement because it says, screen cleaner. So they're like, oh, so you have a machine for it. So really good add-on for your business. So did I add it? There we go. All right, so the next one. Now we're talking about soaps, right? So we had the Dawn soap, but now we're going to add an extra one, okay? So this one's going to be called Glass Gleam, this one. This one helps with really dirty windows. It helps take out more, gunk and all that stuff. So this is really good for that. I mean, it's $21. I mean, this is just an optional. I do this all the time. I even have a gallon one. Oh, $55 almost. But this one's pretty good. I mean, $21. Take it if you like it or not. But I personally use it, so I'll add it to the cart. Okay. So then from there, now we have High Slide. Okay, again, it's a little bit on the pricier side, but $20. This actually helps with, where was it? Right here, direct sunlight. So it really helps a lot because let's say you're like right now in Southern California, it's been like super hot here. So if you go in the sun, you put a mop and with soap and water, it starts like evaporating really quickly because, it's really hot. So this helps to make it leave the water and all that on the glass a little bit longer. It helps a lot. You'll thank me later. I use this all the time, so so we'll just add this to the cart. Okay, so then from there, this one is going to be something that's kind of like an add-on. You can always get a ladder and go do gutter cleaning and stuff like that. I personally use a Skyvac. That's a 5-gallon. One motor. I think this is 17. So this is 17. So it's a little bit bigger. Three times more than mine. A little bit more than 3 times. So this here is a beast because it has 3 motors, like I was saying, mine only has one, and it's 5 gallons. This is 17. So this is awesome because you can just connect it to an outlet, then for the power, obviously, and then from there you have these poles here that can extend to the first, second story. Then from there you can just suck everything out of the gutters. You don't need to get on a ladder or anything like that, and it is phenomenal. People love it. They see it. They're like, wow, it's super safe. And yeah, I mean, it's more on the pricier end, sure. But yeah, it's a great add-on service, and you don't have to get on ladders, especially if you hate ladders. This is a great product for you. Okay, so I'll just add this one there. And then this is going to be kind of in between the add-on services and the water fed. That's going to kind of be like a win-win for both ends. I just didn't know where to put it because I'll explain why. This one right here. It's a little bit pricier. It's the micro. You want to focus on the micro carbon fiber one, the basic. What's cool about it is that there's a trad pull inside of it. So that's why I'm saying like this is in between the add-on and the water fed, because if you buy this, even if you don't have a water fed, it could be a good first step of saying like, oh, I want to buy a trad pull. That's why I didn't have it on the first video. But just like, oh, I don't want to buy a trad pull, but I want to have the preparations for it, and all this other stuff. So the micro will be cool. I mean, yeah, it's a little hefty. I've been using the micro forever, and it's been awesome. I just ended up getting the ultra light, which has been another phenomenal thing. But with this micro, you can be able to have the trad pull in it, and then from there, when you get the water fed, you're able to get it. So let's just say you want to get it, and it doesn't really matter the size, but the color, but the size is 30 feet. I think that's good enough. I think the 40 and 50 will be depending on your circumstances, but I think at 30 foot it will be okay. So all in all, for the add-on, like I said, we're obviously with the bigger the add-on services and all that, the price gets kind of a little bit higher. So that's why I didn't want to put it in the traditional products. But yeah, so all this, I mean, you can even put the gutter vac if you want traditional, but I mean, we're just saying this is more towards the add-on. And all that. So this comes out to, yeah, $3,602. So it's a little bit more on the pricier end, really. But obviously you're not gonna want to get things that don't work. So like I said, these have been tested, so they work. The gutter vac works, all these different things. But again, it's your budget. If you only get just the soap, that's great too. You don't have to get all this stuff. So it's just a video for it to be something that you can look into. So now that we have our cart empty, okay, so now let's start into the water fed system. So the single stage, we're gonna skip that. Most people need the multi-stage, okay, the RODI, okay. So now essentially with these different types of systems, the average person will probably get this one. Most common one is this one. But now this one, the Pure Atom and the regular Pure, they're pretty much the same thing. The only difference is that this one is, pretty tall. So if you have like a small car, maybe it can't fit. But this one is a little bit smaller. They both produce a 0.5 gallon per minute. But the only thing is that the price difference is like $700. So it's kind of a big jump. So, but if you can have the space for it, this is the perfect one for you. If you don't have a lot of space, then you probably want to get the Pure Atom. But the one that I have is an X2. They don't sell it anymore. I believe they don't sell it. But pretty much the X2 is the Pure Max. It has this size. The only thing is that this is like about 50 pounds. I think this is probably about the same, 50 pounds. So they're pretty much the same. This is 100 pounds. So it's a little bit heavier. But this one will be easier to put in a car, and it's easy to take off, put back on. Now, the only thing is that for high heights, this will be really good because this produces a gallon a minute. So if you want to connect, even 2 tubes or 2 poles at once, you can do it with this. If you want to get to a high, like 3 or 4 stories, you don't need a pump. The Pure Max is perfect for you. I actually have a video talking about that, even showing all that, the technique that I use and all that stuff. It's a great video. You should check it out. But yeah, I was using the X2, which is pretty much the Pure Max. I didn't have to use a pump. Worked like phenomenally, perfect. But yeah, these ones, to get to like a 4-story, you probably would have to use a pump. So keep that in mind. But for the average person, I would say this would probably be the best one to get. And so for sake of argument, we'll get this one, okay? So let's say we want to get this one, okay? So now we want to get the brushes. Now, when you buy a water-fed brush, it comes with a water-fed pole. It comes with a brush. So, but we're going to be looking at like buying your own brush. Okay, I would say the best one is well, it's out of stock, but this one's the best one, the Tucker Alpha brush, because this one has a swivel on it, and this swivel is going to help you a lot. Like, for example, if you're like looking at a window and you can't get to it because there's something in the way, you can like kind of like angle it a little bit. Let me go back. Like, you can angle it like this, and so you can kind of come from a different direction. It's phenomenal. You have the over top rinse bar, you have the swivel, so it's really good. But because it's out of stock, just imagine that's that brush. So just bear with me, okay? So I don't think this has a swivel, but let's say you don't want the swivel. You know what? Let's just say that you don't want the swivel. So it's $228 for the 12-inch. The 18-inch, I don't have any 18 inches because most windows is like 14 or under, especially French windows. But French windows, because of the brush, you don't have to worry about not fitting in there. I do French windows all the time with the 12-inch, and it works perfectly. This brush is great for let's say you need a little bit more of like a maintenance clean. You want a little bit more on the window. This is perfect for that. It'll take off like pretty much everything that's on the window. Of course, it doesn't take off paint or anything like that, but I'm just talking about organic cleans. This is the best in the business. And so let's say you want that, and yeah, it's an awesome brush. I've had like I think 3 or 4 of them, so it's great. I highly recommend, especially the over the top rinse bar. I love using that. Okay, so we'll keep it there. Something that you really don't need. I've only used it once. I've only used this once. Is this gooseneck extended? Because I had this simple tool that I connected to my pole and connected it there, be able to, there's some ledges sometimes they come out, and it's kind of hard to get to because you can't reach it. So this helps because it goes up and over the ledge. It works perfectly. I've had it, I don't know, for a couple years now. I only used it once. But it did come in handy though. So it's kind of, something that you don't need, but yeah, for that one job, yeah, it makes a difference. So we'll just add that. I would suggest doing the 20 inch is probably better that way. Okay. Ooh, this one is really good. This, I would say you definitely need it. If you have a water fed pole, this is awesome. This stops and starts the water. So like, let's say the system is going and everything, and you need it to stop because maybe you want to go to another window. You pull from the bottom. I have a bunch of videos showing me doing that. You pull from the bottom, it stops. You move to the next window, you turn it on again, you go. It's phenomenal. It's totally worth it. I would say you don't even second guess it. I know it's $100, but trust me, you're gonna love it. Because imagine if you didn't have it, right? You have the water going, you're like, oh, let me go all the way to my system, turn it off, then go to the next window, turn it on. It doesn't make any sense. But this definitely you need. Definitely. Now, this, I would say, because I have, let's just say, the Pure Max, I would say, or my version, the X2, I never really had to use a pump. But let's say you do need to use a pump. I actually have a pump. I checked on the website. They don't have it anymore. Let me just get this real quick. Yeah, the pump that I had, it was like $400. It was like Wayne's something, but they don't have it anymore, unfortunately. But this is a good pump. I know a lot of other window cleaners that have used this. They say that it works. I mean, it even has a 1-star review, so that's good. $900. Like I said, it's a little bit on the pricier end. I've never used my pump, but again, if you want a pump, here's a pump. I won't even put this in the cart because I never use my pump, but it's good to have, right? Now, TDS meter. So this comes in some type of form like this. It's white, the one that I have, but it comes with your water fed system, so you don't have to buy this. But let's say you lose it, it's $26, but you're never going to lose it. You have it to use it to make sure, because with your water fed system, if it goes above 10 TDS, then you have to change your filter and all that. But whenever you check and all that stuff, you just leave it back in the car, so you're never going to lose your TDS. And explaining all that, the TDS and all that, that's for another video. But just to check your TDS for your system, this is, I guess, a good one to get. I have one. I actually thought I lost one or lost mine, but then I ended up finding it. So I bought it. It works phenomenal, actually. So yeah, it works well. All right, so another one is this hose. So this is pretty cool because this is something that you can connect to your system. You can go up to 100 feet. I have one sometimes, like I'm a little bit short because the tube like I have, I believe the micro, so it's 30 feet. The tubing that comes with it is 40 if I'm not mistaken. So sometimes I'm like almost there. Like I'm like, man, you know, like I set up the system and I want the tubing to go all the way around the house, but sometimes I'm just a little bit short to get to that one window. This hose is real. It's 100 foot, helps out a lot. The pressure will go down for sure. Even it happens to me all the time. Just because now it has another 100 feet of hosing, so obviously the pressure will be less. But it's good if it's just like, you know, that one time that you need to get those windows, because if not, like to a certain windows, because if not, you have to then get your machine, go all the way, your water fed system, right, go all the way to the other side of the building and connect and disconnect. It's just a mess. Sometimes it's just better just to have, you know, a little extra hose. So I have it. I've done it a couple times. When you need it, you need it. All right, so then talking about hoses, this is something that I have. I use it all the time. It's not as yellow as this because I go through a lot of dirt a lot. But man, this is awesome. So you have your water fed system. You connect this to your water fed, and it goes up to 150 feet, and that is more than enough for most jobs. But if not, because what I like to do is, like, let's say it's like a rectangle or a square, right? What I'll do is go like half the house like this, and then what I'll do is I'll bring the hose back if it's not long enough and go through the other half. So that's one idea of using the hose. But this hose is, you know, $500, but it's definitely a must-have, must have. Again, you're right, we were getting to the water-fed stuff. Things get a little bit more pricier, but this is a definitely must-have. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about Quick Connect. This is something that you need to have. It's only $8, but and it comes with your water-fed system, but they break. Not fairly easy, but after a couple months it breaks. So I've already broken a couple of them because, you know, you're pulling your hose, you drop it. Let's say you're doing a second story, you know, like or even on the roof, and you have to like drop the hose or whatever. That gets hit all the time on stuff. I don't know. The things break very easily. I would suggest probably getting 3 of them. That will help a lot. But again, $8. So that's what, like $24 somewhere around there. It's a little bit pricier. I mean, you can just always just have one extra, but again, because of the free shipping, you know, it has to be over $50. So I don't know. I would say have like 3. You should be good there. So now you want to have the next thing. Oops. This right here. So this is going to be really cool because what we just had about the Quick Connect. This will go on the top of it, and then the tubing that we were showing about the 100 feet and all that will connect to this. It might not make a lot of sense if you don't know what I'm talking about, but trust me, this is something that you definitely will need. It's on the pricier end, but this is made out of metal. I have a few of them, and these never break. So in my experience, you would think that this part right here, this plastic, would break. For me, it never broke. So I would say this one, buy one. I mean, I would say just have 2 just in case, you know, let's say it breaks, right? But I mean, yeah, I would say just have 2. Okay, so then from there, we have our last thing here is this little guy that you kind of see here, this spot right here. Like, let's say you want to connect the tubings and all that. This will be the one. So this is our last one here, is the push to fit. All right, so this one, I would say you should buy a few of them just because you need I would say get a pack of 5. I think that would be perfect. Almost $20, but trust me, you're going to really thank me later because let's say you want to have a tube, these things, you can lose them all the time, probably breaks too. So yeah, mainly I lose these, unfortunately, because they go like, let's say connect, and then I put it in my pocket and then I lose it. But anyways, that's something that you should have. Now, one thing that I don't have on this list that I would strongly suggest for you to get, go to Home Depot, Target, or whatever, and get the FlexZilla. Now to connect the spigot to the system, right, the actual hose, right, I would suggest get between 10 feet to 25. Now, why do I say 10 feet as the minimum? Because there's probably, I think there's one that's even 1 foot. I don't know why they'll have a foot, but they have a foot. Sometimes the spigot's a little bit hard to get to, so you want to essentially have the spigot be able to connect, and then maybe have a little bit of slack, and then you can be able to have your machine connected to all that. So it's really good. And then 25 to be the max, because from there you want the flow to be as consistent and get the most flow as possible into your machine. So I would say the 25 should be the max. More than that, your flow goes down. So the key is that you want to have the highest flow pressure as possible, so 10 feet to 25 feet. Okay, you should be good there. So now that we have everything here, so now with the water fed system pack, again, we have the push to fit, all these different guys. It becomes like almost $3,000. This is the end of the video. These are all the products that I personally use and recommend. And if you've made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.